Hello everyone, today is January 10th, 2011, and I'm back for another video. Now, just like my New Year's resolution stated in the last video, I did want to put forth an effort to make sure I make more weekly vlogs. Let's get back to basics, add more sound effects. 3, 2, 1. You know, just like the good old Coover in 2009 and 2010. Question, answer, get it done weekly. Let's have some fun. But before I get started with today's question, I did want to show you guys one thing. Come on, I'll show you something. I think it's oh. Okay, let me get out of my shirt. Bad idea. I thought that'd be cute. This is Harry. He is a 7-week-old white miniature schnauzer, and he's the best puppy ever. He already is potty trained. Oh, do you see yourself? Oh, do you see? I guess because I'm leaving, my parents had to replace me with something, so good old Harry is gonna get this bed. He's just so cute. Oh. Okay, and today's first question comes from my new blog from Jason, and Jason writes, dating, question mark. Hi John, my name is Jason and I have only been out of the closet for 4 months, so I've not yet been on a date with a guy. I met a guy on a dating website and we have been talking for a while via email and text. He asked me to meet up for drinks and I've said yes. As I've never been on a date with a guy before, I am a little nervous. I want to know, are there any do's and don'ts I should know about before I go? Things I should and shouldn't say or do. Thank you so much, Jason. Let me introduce to you the 3 do's and 3 don'ts of what Coover87 does and does not do on a date. Number 1, what you should do is ask questions. If you are interested in this person, ask them questions. I found it so irritating and disrespectful when I was on a date with somebody who just kept on talking about themselves. I mean, I'm not an egotistical person. I'm not all about me. I really, out of all the dates I've been on in the past, I'm not dating anymore, but out of all the dates I've been on in the past, I really, really loved when the other person showed interest in me and asked me questions. And if I'm interested, I always ask questions about the other person too. It shows that you care about the other person and you want to know more about them. And I don't think people don't ask questions because, you know, they don't care. I just think people sometimes get a little nervous and they just kind of sit there and they don't know what to say. And if you're a nervous person and you don't really like to talk about yourself, especially going on the first few dates, then ask them questions. Ask them where they grew up. Ask them if they have any siblings. Ask them what they do for work. Ask them if they like their work. Ask, because the chances are if you are on a date with them, you want to know too. The second thing that you should do on a date is be honest. Honest. I mean, of course, I know what you're thinking. Coover87. We are always honest. I always like to be honest. Who likes to lie? No one likes liars. But what I mean by this is be honest with yourself. Be honest with your feelings. Be honest with what you say. You know, I feel like dating is a game these days because a lot of people feel that they can just portray whoever they want to be because the person who you're dating most likely doesn't know too much about you. And people just pretend they're this and pretend they're that, and that was one of the things I hated about dating. You know, I loved dating. I loved meeting new people and playing the field and seeing who's out there, but I hated it so much because there were so many fake people. I mean, if you can just be honest, it will help you in the long run, especially if you meet someone very special. So number 2, be honest. Everything you say, tell the truth. Try to be as specific as possible about who you are. And if they say something that you may not agree with or not like, it's so important to just go ahead and say, you know what, I disagree. I think this way. Be honest. It can go so far because you're setting boundaries throughout the whole entire relationship. You're setting boundaries of what you accept, what you don't accept, who you are, who you're not are, and those first few dates, those first few hours and days of you and meeting with that new person is really going to establish who you are. So honesty goes a long way. The third thing, or the third do, what to do on a date, leave the individual hanging. And I think some of you, maybe not a lot of you, but I think there will be some of you who may not completely agree with my third to do, but leave the person hanging. You know, I personally find it a little bit unattractive when somebody is completely open and completely like, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and cleavage is down to here, V-necks galore. You have, you know what they would be like if they were naked already. You have an idea of what, the sex would be like. You feel like you know their family and their history and what they're all about, like 360. It is great to be open. It's amazing to be open. It's such a beautiful thing to be an open individual. But I personally think that it is a very attractive when you leave the date and you want more of that person. You can't wait to see them again to find out more about them. Wear somewhat conservative clothing, especially if you're a woman. Wear you're hot. You got what you want, and for you guys, make sure you wear clothing that is leaves the person wanting more. Maybe instead of 3 buttons undone, you just want just do the 1 or the 2. So the third to do is make sure you always leave your date with a little of wanting a little bit more of who you are as a person, because it's a beautiful thing when you get to share that over a long period of time. The first don't get drunk. I know you may be nervous, you may be anxious, you may really like this person, and you feel like it'll loosen you up a little bit with a few Cosmos and a few whatever it is that you drink. It's definitely not a good idea to get drunk. It says a lot about your personality and who you are when you need 3, 4, 5, 6 drinks to just have a good time. Try to stay sober. Try to be conservative with your liquor. Having a glass of wine or a beer is good enough. And when you are sober, you're more of who you are. And I think your date would definitely appreciate that you're able to have a good time without booze, and that you don't need it to have a good time. And I was gonna have a B and a C, but I really don't. So it's just the A. So don't get drunk on your first date. Number 2, don't kiss on the first date. Don't do it. I'm in a relationship right now with my boyfriend, Zachariah, who you guys met a couple videos ago. And I had talked to him for almost 4 months. He came here to visit me. We dated. We slept in the same hotel. I mean, we did a lot. We've known everything about each other before the first kiss, and it was amazing. And you keep that, very special when you're very conservative about being sexual with your date or who you're with. Don't kiss on your first date. Don't give it all away. I think it's great when you don't. But I know all of you are like, fuck that, Cougar. I want to kiss my date on the first day. But that's my second don't. If you're me, don't kiss on your first date. The third don't is don't expect your date to pay for the bill. I mean, if you're in a homosexual relationship, the top, the bottom, the more masculine one, and gender with heterosexual, with the women and the man should pay for it, and maybe the top, the more masculine one should be the one paying for the date. Or gender rules and sexuality, the more aggressive one, the more outgoing one, the shy one shouldn't have to pay for it. It's done with. When you're first dating somebody, it is so respectful, and it says so much about who you are when you aggressively ask to split the bill, or maybe to pay for it. If you want to pay for it, say you pay for it, but don't sit back on your first date and expect your date to pay for it, whether you're a woman who's a heterosexual or a gay guy on their first date. I think it goes a long way to say that you are an independent person and that you do have the means to pay for yourself or the whole date if you'd like. That's that, guys. Those are my 3 do's and 3 don'ts. I hope they mean something for you. I've been on several dates myself, so there is definitely some intelligence and logic and experience behind this video. If you'd like, you can follow me on my new blog, which is on Tumblr. I really, really like the website. If any of you have ever wanted to blog before, they're not paying me to say this, but if any of you really ever wanted to start a blog, it's very user-friendly, it's fun, and there's a lot of gay people on it too. So check it out. I'll have it in the link box. Add me to Facebook if you'd like. I add fun quotations and status updates and pictures and things like that. And of course my email and Twitter, I guess, but I don't really Twitter that much. It's just stupid to me. But every time I say that, I almost get punched in the face. So I guess I have to figure it out. That's it for today's video. I'll be back within the next 7 days with another video. Thank you all for subscribing and watching, and I hope you all have a good rest of your week. Mwah. Goodbye.